Hey, it's Mia J, and today I have a confession to make. Actually, I have a couple. So you know how you read those BuzzFeed articles or whatever that say, you know you're a Chicagoan if ... Look at a couple of problems with those. First, I know everybody talks about deep dish versus regular thin crust pizza. I, for one, don't really have a preference towards either. I know Chicagoans, or they make it out to seem like we're always like, yes, deep dish pizza, 100% of the time. And not really. 9 times out of 10, if we order a pizza, it's gonna be thin crust. Now, I'm not gonna say which one is better than the other, but I just have to give my props to thin crust. Deep dish is expensive. Speaking of food, what's up with Chicago-style hot dogs? I'll be honest, I've never had a Chicago-style hot dog. I mean, like, who only puts mustard on their hot dog? I know tons of people who put ketchup on their hot dog and they're totally fine with it.
Don't believe them. We must annihilate the ketchup users. Join me.
And to be honest, I kind of miss the CTA, especially coming from a town where the public transportation system is totally non-existent. And also, I'm a Southsider, so I have no clue what any of the Northside streets are because they're names and not numbers, which are way easier. I know the right order. Chicago, Division, North, Fullerton, Armitage. I'm just going based off of the red line stops. Speaking of CTA, I kind of miss the CTA, coming from being in a city where the public transportation is sort of non-existent. Don't quote me on that when I'm actually on the CTA. That'll be a different story. And also, in one of the articles, I'll probably link to it, they say that it's not the train, it's not the subway, it's the L. Now, I don't know if that's a generational thing, but I have probably not called the CTA or the train the L in a long time. I would probably call it by its color name, the red line, the green line, ABCD, or I'll probably just call it the train, sports. I mean, most people are always like, oh, you're either a Sox-sider or a Cubs fan. I like the Cubs and Sox equally because they've both failed me as sports teams. And I'm a bandwagoning sort of sports fan anyway, especially like with the Blackhawks. I never liked them until they entered the playoffs and they won those 2 years, and then I didn't like them anymore. And also, I'm kind of embarrassed to admit this, but at one point I considered Chicago a really boring city, maybe because I exhausted all the hot spots and stuff like that, but now I take that back. Again, because I've been in small town USA, and I dearly miss Chicago and all the tall buildings and stuff. I advise you to move out of Chicago for a extended amount of time where there are no tall buildings and no CTA and no city things, and you will miss it. Well, that's all I've got to say. I said a lot of probably unpopular opinions just now. So if you have something to say, if you agree or disagree, sound off in the comments, send me a tweet. I want to know what you think about our city. And as always, if you like this video, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. It's good for your soul. And I'll see you next time.
Oh, they look interesting.
Oh, there's some teenagers hanging out. Oh, what are you gonna do? I guess my one word of advice would be not hyphenate your name 100 Cumberbatch. Don't marry into that name, my God.